Hey there, good morning. This is your host, Jeff Ski Kinsey, and it is another great day. By the way, this is take number 2. Once again, I had microphone issues. I was wearing a sweater trying to stay warm. We're in Northeast Ohio. I think it was 24 degrees this morning outside. And I had on a sweater, and apparently it was rubbing the microphone and creating static or sunspots. Who knows? Who cares, right? It's like, remember that old Jefferson episode where his dry cleaner burnt down and his son, the electrician, had rewired it, and everybody started picking on his son. And he goes, wait a minute, George Jefferson, he goes, wait a minute, nobody knows how that electricity works. We can't blame my son for that. Turns out it was something else. But hey, audio problems, yeah, I've had my share. But I digress. Again, I'm your host, Jeff Ski Kinsey, and I want to talk to you about an amazing opportunity if you're a motorcycle dealer. If you own a dealership, I'm forming a new 20 group. And hopefully everyone knows what that means. My recollection goes back many moons to the auto industry, where the 20 groups were different dealerships around the country. So this is going to be geo-fenced, so you're going to want, I think, in my not so humble opinion, you're going to want to get to me before your competition, because we're going to draw a geofence around your business, and I won't take on any other clients in your geo space. Okay? What we're going to show you is how to double your sales. Now, I have done it in as little as 90 days. Now, I know you're shaking your head saying, well, it can't be done. Well, that's because you don't know how to do it, because you've never done it. I love what Guy Kawasaki said. He was the first software evangelist for Apple when the Macintosh came out. Amazing individual who I've met on a number of occasions. He actually called me at home one day. I was helping him promote a book he wrote a number of years ago, Selling the Dream. And so Guy said, look, everything is impossible right up until the moment the entrepreneur does it for the first time. Those are words to live by. So let's get together, you and I, and 19 dealers that are not your competition, and let's create a 20 group, a mastermind group, where stuff happens and you wake up one morning and you say, oh my, we literally have doubled sales. You can even say, I didn't think it was possible. So I have enough trust, faith, belief in the system, the framework that I use, that I can carry you, as long as you're willing to implement most of what I tell you. And you can push back. You can say, hey, well, that won't work here. And I may argue with you, but we will come up with agreement, and then the possibly 19 other people in the group are going to say, we've tried that and it does work. So check your disbelief at the door. Think about that. What if, just what if? There used to be a Hewlett-Packard commercial way back in the day. What if? And they'd run scenarios. What if it is possible to double sales in the next 90 days? Let's say it takes 6 months. Are you going to double sales in the next 6 months without my insight? I'd say almost a 0% chance. What's the likelihood you'll do it with my help within 90 days? It's better than, I would say, 60%. Might even be 70 or 80%. Let's call it the 80-20 rule. There's an 80% likelihood that you can do it. We can do it. Okay? We're going to do an exercise. And here's a hint of what's coming up in the 20 group sessions. We're going to draw a line in the sand. And I'm going to ask you this question. I'm going to ask everybody in the room the question. And it'll be a virtual room, obviously. If you did twice as much business next month that you did this month, do you have enough people? Do you have enough space? Do you have enough inventory? Or can you get it? Is it physically possible, if the sales were there, that you could do twice the number of sales? If you say no, it's not possible, then that means your constraint is inside your building. That means we have to work on your ability to produce enough goods and services to generate twice as much in revenue. Once we do that, then your constraint moves across that line in the sand to outside the building. Then it becomes a constraint in the marketplace. You're not getting in front of enough of the right people. Okay, it's down home, basic common sense like that I learned through the late Dr. Ellie Goldratt, the father of the theory of constraints, what I and some others prefer to call constraints management. That's the kind of stuff you're going to be exposed to, and we're going to give you an implementation plan. And what I've learned in over 30 years of consulting, I got my first paid gig as a consultant in 1981. Okay. That's almost 40 years ago. And what did I learn? What's the biggest takeaway for me as a consultant? It's my job to hold you accountable. We create some guidelines, we create some parameters, and you agree, say, this is what I want to happen. And I say, great, I'm going to hold you accountable. Because we all need that. Almost all of us. 99% of us need somebody else to hold us accountable. We also need somebody else to point out problems, because sometimes they're so close, we've explained them away. Hey, I could go on and on. I'm not going to do it. Bottom line is, reach out to me. One of the tools we're going to use is this thing called Pound 250. It's something you should be using in your radio spot, TV, Instagram, TikTok, your blog post, website, anywhere and everywhere. You should be telling people how they can reach you instantly. They're driving down the road. They hear you on the radio. Boom. They're sitting at home. Guess what? Everybody watches TV with their mobile phone within arm's length. Okay? So they're driving down the road. I love that example. And they hear a radio spot. You're doing a radio spot. Hey, we've got this great deal. Let's say you sell, as I understand, EVs, electrical vehicles. Motorcycles still have some kind of credits, tax credits, I believe, through the end of this year yet. So you want to reach out to them. You say, hey, we've got bikes in stock and you can take advantage of these programs. And I mean, it's significant. So call us right now and you say, dial pound 250 and say X, whatever your dealership is, whatever the buzz prompt we come up for you. In my case, if you want to know more about this program, you're going to use pound 250 from your mobile phone, dial pound 250. Your car will also do this if you got it hooked up to Bluetooth. So you're driving down the road, you hear this, and you're going to dial pound 250, and at the prompt, say double sales. And I'll get back to you within 24 hours or much, much less, Monday through Friday. Today's what, Thursday? We could have a conversation. You could be in a program within the next 14 days. Yep. You have not because you ask not. So reach out. Remember, it's going to be just about as great a day as you make up your mind to make it. So join me and make it a fabulous day. Okay?